lions, but he carefully protected the devotees' eardrums.
I meditate on Sri Navadvip, where the people are glorified by great sages, demigods, and siddhas. You know how people, they you know, if they only knew. Yeah, this is our work here. Our work is, yeah, people are trying to be important, you know, be somebody and all this stuff. When, just by becoming a devotee, just by following the real path, the designated path that the Lord provides so easily, you become worshipped, even, you know, without even thinking. It's just, it comes with the territory. You don't even think about it. You see people, I mean, I see in my own life, there are no, I mean, you know, we're all nobody. There you go. Krishna, Krishna, Hari Hari, Hari Ram, Hari Ram.
All fours like a baby. At times, Vishvambara entered in the mood of
initially government official
Krishna and stood for hours.
Yeah, doing a nice little
position, the body bent in 3 places. He meditated for some times and then played the flute melodiously and looked just like Krishna and the moon of Vrindavan. When he came out of the flute, he again felt like the Lord's servitor and cried with utmost humility. He begged everyone wanting to serve their God.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna.
The Lord sometimes bent his body like a wheel, his feet touching his head, and he would remain this way for long hours. He expressed all his ecstatic moods in wondrous ways, dancing exquisitely immersed in the bliss of chanting his own names. Now his body trembled as he frequently made roaring sounds, and now, becoming unquiet, fell crashing to the ground.
Oh, save me, Lord. Oh, save me, Lord. Please, at once, take shelter of the something that bears the day. A forest of Kalkalata vines, and a wonderful flood of nectar mercy, and a wonderful flood of nectar mercy, and a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love, and a fathomless, shoreless. He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates. Not just meditation. He meditates on Sri Radha. She talks with him. He is fortunate who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sandalwood. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. And her teeth, jasmine flowers. Radha, play Sri Radha. Radha. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, it's so fun to chant Hare Krishna. It's like it's literally like associating with this otherworldly being, through the name. It's really, you started to really get this, that Krishna is his name. And just by associating with that name, it's like you get the Krishna experience. It's like, wow, man. There's nothing like this. You can see the symptoms of it, but it's just, that's the shelter of the Lord. You just, you feel it, man. You feel that presence. You just call and he's there, and it's like transcendental. It's, no worry. I mean, you have to feel that relationship. Otherwise, if you don't feel it, you don't really. It's just some.
Low battery.
Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. A forest of Kapalata vines. A forest of Kapalata vines. And a wonderful, wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love. And a fathomless, shoreless. He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates. on, not just meditation, who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. He is fortunate who meditates on Sri Radha as she
Come back,
talks
Sachi. All's
with
forgiven.
her lover. As she talks with her lover. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms, and her teeth, jasmine flowers. In my heart I place Sri Radha. 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 Who is splendid with the colors of yellow and red. Who is splendid with the colors of yellow. And who is glorious like limitless light beyond. And who is glorious like limitless light. Who is glorious like limitless light divine. Whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love. Whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love. In whom the king and queen of Raj, in whom the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love Krishna. In whom the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love Krishna. Oh Sri Radha, oh goddess of the newly blossoming rose of Vrindavan. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming rose. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming rose. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming rose. When engaged in making a crown of peacock feathers and a necklace of good gems, will I be your maidservant. When engaged in making a necklace of good gems, will I be used as your maidservant.
I'm here.
Oh, save me, please take shelter of something bears the
What is that? Why have you got him upside down?
You change.
What do you mean you'll change?
Hmm?
You know you've got all cables from this side.
Sorry. Can you charge something?
Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. A forest of Kapalata vines. A forest of Kapalata vines. And a wonderful, wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a wonderful flood of nectar mercy.
So what's he confused about?
And a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love.
Worship Durga. He doesn't understand why.
And a fathomless, shoreless nectar of love.
Come on, listen. What?
What did you tell me about that?
He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates. That's just meditation. He meditates on Sri Radha and she talks with her lover. He is fortunate who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. As she talks with her lover. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms, and her teeth, jasmine flowers. In my heart I place Sri Radha. In my heart I place Sri Radha. Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature.
It's almost like you're in the same room as you.
A forest of Kapalata vines. A forest of Kapalata vines. And a wonderful, wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a wonderful flood of nectar mercy. and a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love, and a fathomless, shoreless nectar of love. He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates.
COVID is the biggest lie.
Pacifies Lord Krishna's desires. The jewel that pacifies Lord Krishna's desires. The jewel that pacifies Lord Krishna's desires. The jewel that decorates the forest grove. The jewel that decorates the forest grove. The splendid jewel we keep in the jewelry chest of our hearts. The splendid jewel we keep in the jewelry chest of our hearts. O saintly heart, O saintly heart, please at once take shelter of the something that bears the name Radha. O saintly heart, please take shelter of the something that bears the something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. Something that is gentle by nature. A forest of Kalpalata vines. A forest of Kalpalata vines. And a wonderful, wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a wonderful flood of nectar mercy. And a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love. And a fathomless, shoreless nectar of
Fathomless. Fathomless.
He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates. on, not just meditation, who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. He is fortunate who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. As she talks with her lover. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms, and her teeth, jasmine flowers. In my heart I place Sri Radha. In my heart I place Sri Radha. In my heart I in my heart I place Sri Radha. Who is splendid with the colors of yellow and red. Who is splendid with the colors of yellow. And who is glorious like limitless lightning vines, and who is glorious like limitless, who is glorious like limitless lightning vines, whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love, whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love, in whom the king and queen of Raj, in whom the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love, in whom the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love Krishna. It's just a microphone test here. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves of Vrindavan. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves. Vrindavan forest. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves of Vrindavan forest. When engaged in making a crown of peacock feathers in a necklace of Kunja, will I be your maidservant. When engaged in making a necklace of Kunja, will I be engaged as your maidservant?
Hare Krishna. Srila Gaurahari Das. Wow. Beautiful. Gives us nuts. Oh, oh come on now. Okay, oh my God.
O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. I yearn to decorate the forest grove Vrindavan with many flowers, arranged for your meeting with the dark moon of Raj, and thus attain your mercy. I yearn to decorate the forest grove Vrindavan with many flowers, and arrange for your meeting with the dark moon of Raj, and thus attain your mercy. Turning away from my kinsmen and from millions of worldly opulences, and not desiring to do anything, to attain anything material, I meditate on the dust of Radha's feet, dust that brings a monsoon before. Turning away from my kinsmen and from millions of worldly opulences, and not desiring to do anything, to attain anything material, I meditate on the dust of Sri Radha's feet. I meditate on the dust of Sri Radha's feet. Dust that brings a monsoon of wonderful happiness. O my heart, please meditate on the two golden water-pot breasts of the king of Vaishnaba's daughter, breasts that are jewelry chests, holding a treasure that is everything to a youth who is like a splendid moon shining in the cool, a youth whose form, more handsome than millions of colonies, is now manifested in the darkness. O Sri Radha, I offer my respectful obeisances to your youthful breasts, which enchant the person who enchants all the worlds, and which are like two golden lotus buds growing in the lake of your pastimes, or two fruits growing on the nectar kalpa-vriksha tree of your bliss. Oh, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Something that is gentle by nature, something that is gentle by nature, something that is gentle by nature, a forest of kalpalata vines, a forest of kalpalata vines, and a wonderful, wonderful flood of nectar mercy, and a wonderful flood of nectar mercy, and a fathomless and shoreless nectar of love, and a fathomless, shoreless. He is fortunate. He is fortunate who meditates. He is fortunate who meditates.
Let's listen to Srila Gaurahari
Not
Das'
just
boring
meditation,
class.
who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. He is fortunate who meditates on Sri Radha as she talks with her lover. As she talks with her lover. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her ornaments, pearls, and red sindura. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms. Her red lips, glorious flower blossoms, and her teeth, jasmine flowers. In my heart I place Sri Radha. 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 Who is splendid with the colors of yellow and red. Who is splendid with the colors of yellow and who is glorious like limitless lightning vines. And who is glorious like limitless lightning. Who is glorious like limitless lightning vines. Whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love. Whose beautiful form is overcome with passionate love. In whom the king and queen of Raj, in whom the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love Krishna. and who the king and queen of Raj love as much as they love Krishna. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves of Vrindavan. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves of Vrindavan. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming groves of Vrindavan. Vrindavan forest. O Sri Radha, O goddess of the newly blossoming rose of Vrindavan forest. When engaged in making a crown of peacock feathers and a necklace of kunja, will I be your maidservant? When engaged in making the necklace of kunja, will I be engaged as your maidservant? O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. O Sri Radha, please place your glance of mercy upon me. I yearn to decorate the forest grove Randavar with many flowers, arranged for your meeting with the dark moon of Raj, and thus attain your mercy. I yearn to decorate the forest grove Randavar with many flowers, and arrange for your meeting with the dark moon of Raj, and thus attain your mercy. Turning away from my kinsmen and from millions of worldly opulences, and not desiring to do anything to attain anything material, I meditate on the dust of Radha's feet, dust that brings a monsoon of wonderful happiness. Turning away from my kinsmen and from millions of worldly opulences, and not desiring to do anything to attain anything material, I meditate on the dust of Sri Radha's feet. I meditate on the dust of Sri Radha's feet. Dust that brings a monsoon of wonderful happiness. O my heart, please meditate on the two golden water-pot breasts of the king of Vishnu Banu's daughter, breasts that are jewelry chests, holding a treasure that is everything to a youth who is like a splendid moon shining in Gokul, a youth whose form, more handsome than millions of Kamadeves, is now manifested in Vrindavan. O Sri Radha, I offer my respectful obeisances to your youthful breasts, which enchant the person who enchants all the worlds, and which are like two golden lotus buds growing in the lake of your pastimes, or two fruits growing on the nectar kalpalapriksha tree of your bliss.
You have to open the box when it's already charging.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Whatever, but you do have to open the box.
Pretty intense.
I just wanted to make sure there's no power in here. Because I get like a shock.
I don't know what you're doing.
You feel it?
Killers. Are you opening it up now?
Yeah, what are you doing?
I'm smoking.
You open it out now. You're trying your oven. Yeah. Hope you don't just add to the rest of the stuff in your kitchen.
Yeah. A lot of the stuff
Radha
in your
is this devotion.
a lot of the stuff in your kitchen.
It's
It's
devotion.
got cobwebs.
And this is what Krishna hankers
You don't
after.
use it. You need to move some of that stuff so you have more room.
The gopis are filled
More
with
room for spiders.
it. Radha's the crest jewel of the gopis.
How many do you need done? I'm trying to find out how to get Govinda's working, but it won't charge.
Even
Martin's
Krishna
looking at it
wants
now.
it.
Is he?
Yeah.
Oh, thank good man. What's this?
Martin, I don't
It's
know what-
white, isn't it? It's sanitizer.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Craig David's changed
Krishna,
from
Krishna,
from
Hare
4-leaf
Hare,
clovers
Rama,
to bags of money.
Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare
I
Krishna,
fell out
Hare
live.
Krishna.
Give me that to me.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Put some headphones on there, Tom. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Oh my God.
Rama, Rama, Hare
Jesus Christ, superstar. That is awesome. Just get your elbow. Stick your elbow in.
No, but more powerful.
No, you have more
My
power.
elbows are weak.
No, if you put your elbow like that, I can just lie into you. Other side. Other side. Okay. More in the center. Oh yeah. Like push against me. Oh. Oh my God! I got so much knots in there. I think it's from wearing the suspenders. No, it's from yeah. Oh my God!
Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama.
Oh, I guess that's this
Hare
off.
Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
I take these fuckers off. Cool.
Krishna, Krishna, Hare
To the
Hare,
window.
Rama. Okay, so this is any better. It probably is. Sure it is. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. Rama, Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Krishna, Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama. I saw on a Facebook page today, somebody said, this lady, she says, please bless me to develop love and devotion for Krishna and my Guru, you know. So I wrote back, come to Sadhu Sangha. You know, people don't know. He's right there before them. They can't see it. See, that's why,
Jew muscles.
you know, you have to tell them.
Fucking bionic
Otherwise,
woman.
you know, you just look for the signals. Krishna's crying out through people. It's really
Maybe
not,
we can stick
I
something
mean,
in
it's
there.
not for me to do this. It's for you guys. Look at the Facebook. Look,
Yeah, I did
people
it
crying
before.
out. They're
Put a
looking.
spanner in them.
And they just are blind. Nobody is taking them by the hand and leading them. If I say it, it sounds like false ego. Oh yeah, come to my Sangha. Well, I'll say it anyway because it's true. But when the devotees, when you guys pick up the signals, you know, look, this love of God is available here. You know, people are looking, they're asking, please bless me, you know, and they don't know where to go. Tell them. Yeah. Even if they don't accept it. Right away, later maybe. Give them the chance. Should be more fruitful now because people are looking for some kind of relief. I mean, it's like everywhere you look on a thing, it's, fear, coronavirus. Like, what is this thing? 99% recovery rate from this thing. And there's even the president's drumming up, we got to have a vaccine for what? You guys got some motive, man. You got some other thing. Everything is about that. And it's nothing. It's like 99% recovery rate. What is that? What's all this hoopla about?
Okay, I'm stopping it. I'm stopping it there because I don't want to hear any more coronavirus. I'm going to skip forward and see if I can find some more nectar.
They're not awake yet. It's almost like, it's just... And some, Christians, they have the mercy of Christ, and they're juicy, they're live, they really, they sing in their heart, they're really real devotion, not superficial. I was never attracted to that. I was never attracted. The devotees never attracted. I was only attracted to Prabhupada and the holy names and the books. Were you attracted to devotees? Some, yeah.
I have to, something I would like to mention here, but Srila Gaurahari Das has just said about never feeling, he never felt this bhav with devotees. He only felt it with Prabhupada's books and the holy name. My question would be to Srila Gaurahari Das when he stayed in ISKCON or any Gaudiya Math temple is, did he actually spend time with devotees? AKA, did he attend Mangal Arti with an open heart? Did he attend these programs and ceremonies with a sincere open heart to relish associating with fellow devotees singing in Sankirtan? That's my question to Srila Gaurahari Das if he's listening. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Is Srila Gaurahari Das there, or is he hiding in the bed, or is he going for a japa walk, or is he having a wank? A mastication. Sorry, Sachi. Anybody there? Hello? Anybody hear me? Hare Krishna. Nobody can hear me. That's a bummer. Maybe my volume's down or something. Oh, volume's up. Can you hear me? Yamuna, maybe that's it. Oh, I wonder if Guru Maharaj heard the question, and I wonder will I be able to remember the question, because when he said this in class this morning, I wanted to comment. He seems very like an isolated person. Srila Gaurahari Das, he seems very isolated, very by himself, doesn't like to associate with anybody higher or lower than himself. Like as soon as Sachi comes near, he goes somewhere else, and then as soon he just hangs out with certain people who just accept everything he says, and anyone who stands up against him, he either belittles them, chastises them, or makes a joke out of them. I wonder if I'm stepping out of tone, or if I'm being a little bit of an offensive person to Guru. Is this Guru Aparad? Anyone has any comments I'd like to hear? Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. Oh, Sachi, go for it. Thank you. Hare Krishna. Does Ranga want to say something? What's Ranga saying? What did Ranga say? He wants some cabbage. Oh. So what Sachi said, yeah. Yeah. I was angry. I did, because Srila Gaurahari Das seems to blanket his experience for everybody's experience. And unfortunately, Janaki may or may not have the cojones to stand up and go, actually, no, Srila Gaurahari Das, I experience great bliss sometimes in these ceremonies, these rituals. Or maybe she didn't, and that's unfortunate for her that she didn't experience any of these rituals. But I've spoken to many Vaidhi Bhaktas, inverted commas, many devotees in our Sangha who have attained these Vaidhi Sangha programs and have experienced great bliss and great joy and great ecstasy. So Srila Gaurahari Das is speaking from his experience, granted, but to whitewash, yeah. Well, my question is, did Srila Gaurahari Das ever attend them with an open heart? That's my question. Okay, hang on. Let me organize myself here. Krishna, 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, oh, Hare Rama.
Waiting for a connection.
Oh, Krishna. Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama. Okay, Maharaj, Hare Krishna. In your class this morning, you mentioned, or you're asking Janaki, or you're making a statement that you didn't like to associate with the devotees in ISKCON or other Gaudiya Sampradaya ashrams because you were more interested in chanting the holy name, you were more interested in reading Prabhupada's books, and you weren't very interested in these, as you call them, dogmatic festivals, dogmatic, ritualistic, shaking the bells and doing artis and things like that. You weren't interested in those things. But I wonder, did you ever attend them? Did you ever actually attend them with an open heart, facing the deities and offering yourself to the deity with your god brothers and god sisters early in the morning for Mangal Arati? Did you attend those kind of festivals?
Guru Maharaj, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, Guru Maharaj.
He's getting his microphone.
Karuna.
Yes, Yamuna. Yes, Hare Krishna. I hear you.
Show yourself.
Hello.
Because we can't hear him when he's up there on camera.
Guru Maharaj.
He's in the car.
Well, why did you say anything?
Because he just heard them. Because we couldn't hear him.
He's coming now. He came in to get his headphones. He found them. Now he's getting in the car, and he's going to unmute himself, and now we're going to hear whatever.
Now he's getting in the car.
Yeah,
He's getting in the car. He's going down the mountain.
Right.
Going down the mountain.
So are you talking about like offering yourself to the deity, like in Mangalarti, that kind of stuff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, well, there's a certain level where I'm doing that when I'm chanting. It's the same deity, man. There's no difference but deity there on the temple and the name to me. I'm offering myself. I love it, man. And it's not a ritual, and maybe it's not a ritual for others, but the bottom line is if you're really experiencing your heart melting, you'll know. I mean, the tears come, the choking, and all that stuff. A lot of devotees may not experience that. Maybe it's a more sentimental, but maybe some are. But the bottom line is Vaidhi association is not often encouraged because most Vaidhi bhaktas don't understand it. They're afraid of emotions. They've got all this repression stuff. They got all these ideas that it's just not a great place to cultivate that bhakti. So people may have had experiences like Johann and Lalita and others, but it's a good place for it to bloom. So that's the bottom line. It's like, where can you cultivate this where it'll grow? I couldn't cultivate it in this time. If any tears came, they freaked out. They don't understand it. They think it's an offense or something.
Another question.
That makes sense?
Yeah, makes sense. Very much so. Another question. I have another question. Did you ever feel ecstasy while singing Samsara Darva and hold back the tears?
Oh, so many times. I've made videos, and that's on there.
What, videos of you doing Samsara Darva in the temple, chanting Hare Krishna with the devotees, holding back tears?
Well, not that I can remember. I mean, I remember just dancing for the deep. Yeah, what's the difference if I do it alone or with the devotees? What's the difference?
No, the thing is, what I'm saying, Maharaj, is that when you kind of whitewash the whole scene, that there is no ecstasy, that there is no emotion when you go to these ritualistic, dogmatic ceremonies, that they're all they hamper your bhakti, they hamper your bhakti lata bij growing.
Well, you got to be a little intelligent. You got to be a little intelligent.
That's what we've been doing. Yeah. He unmuted it.
I can't talk. If people don't mute their microphone when they're talking, how am I going to talk? So, River, you got to mute your microphone. There you go. Yeah. No, it's not all or nothing. It's just a lot of times you need personal details. Like Prabhupada, he would also make general statements. What are you going to do? You have a general idea, and then when you're dealing individually, you can clear things up. But generally, there's a lot of people that don't have bhakti and that don't have this devotion, ecstatic devotion. They don't like it. They don't like what we're doing. Can't you tell? Can't you see that's the general thing?
I put that phone on charge.
The general thing, they don't like this ecstatic devotion. They don't know what it is. They think it's scary or whatever it is. But now, personally, maybe some have a teaching, they have something going on. They get something.
Yeah, but it needs something very simple.
I've enough of them.
And she feels things in there, right?
Well, with the group kirtan, that's basically it. When it's a whole big group, and I'm kind of annoyed,
Yeah. So anyway, that's there, and so it's you got to see there's general speaking about these things, and then it's individual. Just like in those groups, there's a Lalita and there's a Johann. they're crying out, please give me the association where I can bloom. Maybe they don't know that in their mind, but they want to bloom. They want to, do it. So they're devotees like that. You might have been one of them. I don't know.
Karuna, remember that young man that came to the kirtan?
I can get my glasses.
Oh, I wanted to say this when Gaurahari was listening, but you remember he came and we had at my house, and you said, boy, he needed to learn something about being respectful. So he kind of just walked in and took over the. Okay, well, you know what? I saw him at the temple yesterday because I was meeting somebody else for something else, and he couldn't even hardly talk to me because he had been getting other input from his gurus and the other devotees, and they know Gaurahari's teaching because they go online and they see and they talk with each other. But I don't talk to them, and they don't talk to me. But I can tell in his eyes that he's like not, really, like not able to talk to me right now.
I'm back here.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Mary, that's an individual. That's an individual case.
They're functioning on
that
a
doesn't
different
really
level.
help, really.
Yeah, it's a different level.
I mean, yeah, it's a different level.
It's a different level of bhakti. One is the regulative, the other is an ecstatic level. In those whom, I'll quote you the verse. In those in whom ecstatic devotion, in those who worship the Lord with prema, not even the greatest scholars can understand their mind or their feelings or their intentions, their plans, stuff like that. Chapter 23.
Okay. Hare Krishna. Maybe I've been having too much association with devotees who had taste in these sampradayas and these sanghas, and a lot of the people who come here, didn't have taste, it seems, and a lot of people who did have taste, but they're afraid to speak up and say, I had taste. Otherwise, why would I stay in the movement for 40 years? So what you're saying doesn't ring true to them.
Yeah, actually, yeah, and there's a taste. I mean, there's a guy gets up every day, flourishes, and does his program, man. He must have some taste. Why the hell is he doing it, man? But it bores me. It's not the kind of, I'm not interested at all. And to me, it's like empty rituals. But some people, they think it's great. I've been to a lot of programs where people are doing just kind of the program, the buying, and they're ringing the bells and everything. It's like I feel nothing. I feel no. To them, they might be feeling something. I don't know.
Perfect. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Wrong
He's driving down
advisor.
the mountain, so it's going to be sporadic.
Hassan.
Yeah, I'm here, but it'll come back. It's just certain spots.
So that's all I wanted to really bring up on a point there. That's all I wanted to say.
Yeah.
About that.
Let's take that a little deeper. What is it that makes you doubtful? What are you doubting?
Oh, no. It's not doubting.
Is there doubt?
No. I have no doubt.
Okay.
It's no doubt. It's just when you say something that's subjective and accept that as well, yes, you are an ecstatic devotee, and yes, Yamuna says that Krishna speaks through you. I do feel sometimes Krishna may not always be speaking as clearly as we'd all expect a pure Uttama Bhakta to be speaking.
Oh,
you're into that. Okay, I got that. All right, that's
Okay.
what I get.
Okay.
All right, you're into that mighty thing that was propagated. People think, well, Prabhupada said everything perfectly. I'm sorry, he is the thing that Krishna is looking at, and that is not like, oh, everything he said is absolutely perfectly said with all. It's not going to happen. The Lord is looking at the devotion of a devotee. That's it. That's the main thing. Not like, well, he's put the perfect points across perfectly. Hey, man, nobody does. Prabhupada did. There are things I don't agree with that he said that are not absolutely like what I would say would be perfect, but it's not about that. The Lord looks at the devotion of the devotee. Is it pure love of God? There will always be some increasing revelation to realization. St. Paul is a saint, but he had a certain level of understanding and realization about God, and it evolves too. It goes deeper. The Lord reveals more things. So it's not about, Gaurahari, Prabhupada said everything. No, he didn't. Nobody does. Bhakti Siddhanta didn't. Nobody.
Excellent.
But because the Lord ain't looking at that. The Lord is looking at the pure love that the devotee has for God. That's our eternal standard. That's the standard, is the devotion. Not necessarily the preaching points and stuff like that. Prabhupada said a lot of things. If we can go over a lot of things that he said that are generalities also about other groups that I said, well, they're not all like that. But, it's just kind of how it is. It's preaching. There are verses that need some adjustment that are not perfect, perfectly expressed. And, you can always, improve things if you qualify to improve them. And everybody that has some intelligence will agree. Anyway, that's my
Thank you, Mahar. Thank you, Gaurahari Das. Thank you, Srila Gaurahari Das. That's what I want. Sometimes when you're giving a live class, I want to chime in and I want to say something or express something, but I find that the texting is too slow and you miss it, and it kind of stops the flow. Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, that's a good point. A lot of these things need to be discussed. It's just, it's our limitation in that way of doing like Facebook Live things.
Yeah.
So there's a lot of points need to be cleared, and especially when something in your heart is coming up, and it's nice to discuss it in the moment.
Yeah.
So we got a little limitation on those things.
Mm-hmm.
So it's good to bring it up.
I think that's the great thing of what I don't want to toot my own horn, but right now I'm doing a Facebook Live on this conversation, so that's been dealt with.
Oh, you're tooting your own horn. Oh, okay.
I think sometimes too when Gaurahari speaks in the class, there's one or two out there that really need to hear that particular message, but we all get it, and then we all, think he's only talking to me, and then we want to, steer the class in a certain way. So you have to remember that he's talking to all of us too, and maybe one or two in particular. I guess the ones that react are the ones that need it the most.
Jai.
I'm going to be going to pick up the kitty cat here soon.
Does anybody have a problem? Let's take a vote. Should Sachi pick up the kitty cat, or should she renounce it falsely?
Oh my gosh.
You have to do what the group thinks it does.
Well, I don't know what the thumbs up means.
Thumbs up.
Do you realize how much?
Think? River, should she get the cat? What do you think?
I don't think she should, but actually no. Actually, no, I don't know. I think Sachi should do what she wants to do and not falsely do anything.
Well, the thing with Yamuna is that she experimented with letting Shadow go. I would never experiment with letting Leela go.
Oh yeah.
But, you know, I've already given myself so much a hard time. I mean, I have been shaking in my boots about this thing. God.
Just get the
I finally
cat and
decided,
enjoy the
you know
cat.
what? It's a cool cat. Give the freaking put some fix the problem. The cat is so cool.
You go for it, Sachi.
Cool cat. I agree. You know, the cat came to the door for a reason. I think it's.
I've been here 7 years. Cats run, coming and going in the yard and whatever. Nobody ever says a thing. But this one came right to the back door after Janaki and Gaurahari retired to the motorhome. And you're just like, yeah. And I'm like, what is that? Where'd you come from?
Just don't let him spray all over everything.
He won't. He won't. He's the coolest cat. It was well-behaved cat.
Can I just chime in there?
He does?
Can I chime in?
Yeah.
There's a reason that there's a reason that the cat won't spray his man stuff around your house.
What is that reason?
He won't have any man stuff to spray.
Well, I did have another male cat that got fixed, but it still continued to spray. But you know what? Krishna is in this house, and this cat, I've already tested him out for 3 days, and he like fits right in. And the cat and the other cat doesn't fight him. She just hisses and turns around and goes the other way. And you know, so and I figure if I need to move or something, I can move with 2 cats. If I have 1 cat, I can have 2.
Oh, that's another thing. Moving. Yeah. They don't mind having 2 cats, do they?
Oh my God.
What's that?
Do landlords mind if you have 2 cats, or?
No, if you have 1 cat, you have a pet. You have a pet. You know.
You just pay them extra.
Not usually. I mean, well, it just depends. Most landlords allow pets. You know, but if they don't allow pets, they don't allow pets. You go somewhere else.
I don't want to be a.
I mean, like I said, I've already got 1.
I don't want to be a speculator. Or I don't want to do a Srila Gaurahari Das in it. But in my experience, that if you take a cat from its habitat, it goes crazy.
If you do what?
If you take a cat from its habitat, it goes crazy.
Well, that's not been my experience. My Leela, she's moved 3 or 4 times already.
Cool. Well,
Yeah,
that's my experience.
They're adaptable. They're adaptable. Only Sachi, she doesn't adapt very well.
I wouldn't be here if I didn't adapt. After I met you so long ago, I do adapt some. But I'm not ready to live up full time in the woods, in a tent yet.
You'll notice she said the word yet
What did Karuna say?
I said, you'll notice that Sachi said the word yet in her sentence. So she's going to the
That means
tent.
you'll be moving to the forest
Yeah.
soon. Maybe.
Yeah. Oh.
I won't respond because I really didn't catch it. I had to roll the windows up and everything to hear as I'm starting to drive.
Sachi's moving to the forests.
Anyway, this cat, well, I don't know. I don't want to overdo it on conversation on the cat. So, let's see if we can ask the guru a question. Who has an intelligent question to ask the guru?
So, where in Shastra does it mention the length of Lord Krishna's member?
It has to be 6.43 centimeters.
6.4. Yeah.
Then we know it's a divine personality. It's gotta be extra small because they don't use it.
They don't. Oh, come on, Maharaj. Of course he uses it. He has to wee-wee. He has to go to the toilet. Or he wants to go to the toilet.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but that's
How
well,
else?
actually, Nityananda got married, so he had to use it.
How else are they going to?
Even Nityananda got it.
How else are they going to pee on the Brahmana's dinner?
I have a question for Maharaj.
Woo.
I do.
Yes. What is your question? The all wise Oz is here.
Yeah, so I was talking today with Bruna. Where does it say, I don't know if it's in the Caitanya-caritāmṛta, where when there is I think Prabhupada has said this, I don't know, maybe you can answer. Where does it say that when there is a Raganuga Bhakti teaching, you can leave Vaidhi Bhakti and hear from the Raganuga Bhakti?
Okay.
Could I partly answer that?
Yes.
No,
Good.
not really an answer. It's a comment.
Saved by.
Where does it say we have to have something that tells us what we have to do all the time?
Good answer. Hey, we gotta live our life by the book.
Sometimes I have a hard time with the scriptures too.
And then you're identifying with it. I'm just asking Guru Maharaj where it says that.
Yeah. Well, a lot of times you have to see indirectly. So, see, there's two ways to understand Shastra. One is by direct, self-evident meaning, and the other is by inference. You know what inference means?
No.
Okay, inference means you read a verse and it infers something, but intuitively, it points to something. Okay, so I'll tell you where it shows that through inference. Okay, so Lord Chaitanya, he goes to Ramananda Roy and asks him, what is the goal of life and the means to attain it? And Ramananda Roy said, Vaidhi Bhakti, Varnashram Dharma, follow the rules and regulations, and engage in your occupation, blah, 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 right? And Lord Chaitanya said, that's external bhakti. Tell me something more. He rejected that. Tell me something deeper. Okay, so by the Lord's actions, he's showing that's where it says. And I'll show you some other places. The wives of the Brahmins, their gurus, were their husbands. they were Brahmins, and they were doing pujas and stuff. And so the cowherd boys called them, and so they went, and they're so anyway, there's an inference there that one should go to the Raganuga Bhaktas to associate with them, to hear from them, to serve them. Yeah, got that?
Yeah.
And Bali Maharaj also got the same. It infers the same thing. He had a guru who was on obviously another platform, and he went and served Vamanadev. Matter of fact, before he even did that, he heard from his grandfather, Prahlad Maharaj, and helped him understand these intricate things. Intricacies.
I'd like to add there, now that I've thought about it over again.
Bet you didn't expect that answer.
No, we haven't heard that. We haven't heard that before. Never heard that before. Can I add a little realization that sparked by hearing that?
Go ahead.
So her question was, is there anywhere in the Shastra that Prabhupada says that we should leave? What was it, Yamuna, again? Say it again.
If they Raganuga Bhakta, we should go to the Raganuga Bhakta. We don't have to necessarily worship Vaidhi Bhakti. We should go to the Raganuga Bhakta. We should hear from him.
There's another place too, I'll tell you.
Oh. You want to go ahead, Maharaj, and say that?
Prabhupada said, Prabhupada also said, I remember reading it in purport in the Bhagavad-Gita, and Prabhupada said, he said that if one gives the mercy of a Vaishnava, one can advance in Krishna consciousness even without following the rules and the regulations of the Vaishnava scriptures, having to go through that method. And so that's how you get the mercy, is basically you associate with them and hear from them. And just become part of that group. And that's how you do it.
I think that's mentioned in Caitanya-caritāmṛta Sindhu.
Oh, and then, God, there's so many verses coming.
Yeah.
There's the one where it says it's not through rules and regulations and, let's see, Vaidhi Bhakti, it's not through Vaidhi Bhakti by and fasting and austerities. Yeah, that one attains Krishna Vrindavan. It's through the devotees who chant the holy names with great ecstatic devotion. So there's another indirect inference there. There are a lot of verses like that.
Yeah.
Oh, here's another one. It's a good one. Simply by the even a fallen soul. This is in Anshalila, chapter 7, verse 1. A little paraphrase. Even a fallen soul who gets the causeless mercy of a devotee, who is like a bumblebee at the feet of Lord Chaitanya, can become eternally liberated. See? So how do you get that causeless mercy? You got to associate here from them. Because if they're like a bumblebee, they're going to be talking about these principles taught by Lord Chaitanya, right? The inference. Many of these things are inferring things, but you have to be a woke, part of the woke group. We're part of the transcendental woke group here.
What group, Roma? What group?
Woke. They have this woke group in these guys they call the woke. The woke.
No, I didn't know that, but yes, transcendental woke group.
No, they're the Wookiees.
David Icke is talking about the wokes. Okay, I need to pull off here. 5 store open in Thatcher.
Ah, this is great.
Good.
Now this is Sadhu Sangha. Aha. Oh. Oh, Krishna. Oh.
So why do you wear sunglasses to Sadhu Sangha there?
Oh, I just put them on. I thought I'd keep them on for a bit.
Oh,
I'll take them off so much.
that's okay. Oh yeah, now you look stoned. Look like you smoked a joint.
Do I?
Yeah, you better keep them on, otherwise we'll know.
Oh, you know, I said it earlier. We were talking about it earlier, and I said, yeah, me too.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I know. That's why I mentioned it. Janaki, you can never tell. Janaki, you can never tell.
Janaki doesn't smoke hardly any.
Yeah. She can take the little tiny little.
Janaki's a cheater. She has teeny with. No, actually, Karuna's like that. Karuna's like.
Teeny weeny little bit.
You're more attentive in class.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Well, that's good.
Like you're there, and yeah, you're more attentive. I like it.
I have to go and stretch a bit. I need to do some exercise. I'll catch you guys later. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Maharaj, for the association. Thank you, Sachi. Thank you, Janaki. Hare Krishna. Bye bye. Hare Krishna. Whoa.
The chanting has really been getting me through.
That's awesome.
Yeah, well, that's good.
I mean, you just drive down the street and I start seeing all these masks, and I'm like,
That's why I listen to these guys a little bit that are anti-maskers. Keeps me a little sane.
yeah.
So what are they talking about?
Huh?
What are they speaking about?
Well, these guys, just like David Icke, they speak, like things that make sense. And it's, I don't know, it helps me, at least on that level. It's not fully the full-on, complete understanding, but it's like I like to see that level of sanity also in this world, because we're living in a social system also. So I like to see that. Otherwise, you look at these people, we're looking at everybody, and they're all fucking looking insane with these masks. And it's nice to see people say, this is stupid, man. Yes, it is.
Well, they're looking, it's like, when I wear one, I'm like, I don't know what to think. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know what's going on. And it's just, paralyzed.
Well, it's just, you just gotta see. That's why if you hear, I'll send you guys some videos of people they talk about, the science of that. What they're doing is they're doing things that are not intelligent, and they want people to accept lies, things that are not intelligent. They, like just obey blindly things. So that's part of the thing, and so. We need to be able to be like human beings are meant. They have a brain to we can process stuff. We can think about things. And that's important too. It's part of, it's part of life. God's given us a brain. even spiritual Shastra. I mean, we approach it like that too. A lot of devotees don't understand Shastra because they can't consider these things. They don't. It's just tell me what to do, you know, and that's like blind adherence.
They go back, you know, I kind of don't notice them, and you notice them, but I don't really spend any time with them. My mind just goes away from what they're, because it's so daft, you know, it's so ridiculous, you know, and everybody just looks stupid. And like Sachi said, you know, people don't know what's going on. They don't know who they're talking to. If they're talking to their friends, you know, people mistake each other all the time. I kind of don't say anything because it's so daft. You know, they've got to see it. It's just so ridiculous. It's just even getting more and more ridiculous every day with the things that they're doing. It's like, gosh, I feel sorry for them, actually.
More ridiculous. Have you tried to have a conversation with a person in a mask?
Do you know what? I think maybe with Runa or Martin. It's just mad. Yes, at the hospital. Oh no, I didn't have to wear one, did I? No, not really. Not a proper conversation. I haven't actually.
There's a couple of gals that work at Fry's grocery store that, you know, let their mask hang on the side, you know, here and there, and pull it down below their nose, and they said, you know, I have to wear this because of work and everything, and there's others that work here that are snitches and will tell if I'm not wearing it.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, they